Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Ultimate Freedom Hangout, also known today as Name That Tune. Maybe you guys saw us having a little fun on the internet and talking about, those of us that are old enough to remember it when we were little kids and stuff, Name That Tune. I do this periodically. By the way, my name's Diane Hochman. If we haven't met today, this is the Ultimate Freedom webinar brought to you by My Lead System Pro. And sometimes when I'm just a little busy, or when I'm traveling, which is what I'm doing today, or when I'm just out of time, instead of preparing a topic ahead of time, what I do is I toss it out and I say, hey, name that tune. The audience gets to pick the topics. And what I like to do, I'm a little stiffly here, guys, sorry. What I like to do is let you guys go ahead and put, so this is a little different than Q&A, because Q&A is ask me a question and I'll give you an answer. But Name That Tune is let's pick a theme. And sometimes we can pick more than one, so it's kind of fun. So I'm going to bring Bert over. If anybody else is L2 or above, and why did I change that up? People are like, oh, I'm not L2. It's because we've recently changed our point system. So I think L2 is the appropriate number here, and L2 means leadership level 2. If you are a guest today, you either like Name That Tune nostalgia, or maybe you heard somebody talking about this. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My Lead System Pro has been here for coming up on 6 years. We've been training world-class marketers for all that time. We've trained many of the top people in this industry, and we'd like to help you become the next internet marketing, network marketing, online marketing rock star. If you haven't poked around our back office, if you haven't gotten a trial, if you haven't seen what we're all about, you can do that. And I'll send this out in a minute, but MLSP.com, which stands for My Lead System Pro. MLSP.com, you can go there and grab a trial and see what all the hubbub is about, why thousands and thousands and thousands of people, I don't know the number, it's a lot of thousands, like not like 4, like more like, I forget what Brian said, it's in the tens of thousands, it may be 100,000, I don't know what the number is, but thousands of people have made this their selection for internet marketing training for their home business. And I am always pleased as punch to be here on Tuesday afternoons or Tuesday evening for those of, ooh, look at Bert's background. Bert, it looks so Colorado-y.
It is. It is Colorado.
So Colorado-y.
I gotta move because I couldn't. It was like I was in a dark shadow.
Oh. Well, I was in the dark before, and then the kids sort of fixed it up. It's not so great now. But everybody, this is Bert Bledsoe out in Colorado, and I am in Connecticut at Happy Land, for those of you that happen to know what Happy Land is. And I'm here with my kids, and they're downstairs hanging out at the pool, and as soon as we wrap up, I think I will do the same. So let me go back to the chat, Bert. See what's going on over there. Has anybody named a good tune? Memes. Let's see. I'm looking to see. Anybody else? Let's give you guys another minute or two, and I'll give you some housekeeping and some important stuff and announcements while we're doing this. Guys, in case you don't know, memes are graphics that you can use on the internet. I got to tell you, it's not my favorite topic. I mean, we certainly can cover it. I taught most of you about memes. I think it's been done a lot, so I'd like you guys to, let's put it this way. First of all, last week we had an off-the-hook training. Were you here last week, Bert? I don't remember.
I wasn't. It was birthday week.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Let me fix my, I have my headset on, but the sound's coming out of the speaker, so hang on. Let me just fix it for a second. So I do this, okay. Okay, headset. Can you hear me now? Yeah.
I can. Yes, I can hear you.
Much better now. Much better. Much better. Much better. Last week, I gave 11 ways. And we did this off the cuff, 11 ways to get more engagement on Facebook. And first I want to congratulate, a lot of people took a lot of action last week. I saw everybody using those. If you guys missed that, if you're an MLSP member, it's in your back office if you missed it. And if you're not an MLSP member, why not go get a trial, right? MLSP.com, because if nothing else, that training alone, who was on the training last week? Give me a shout out in the chat. I know tons of people utilize those techniques. They were absolutely awesome. So what I'm looking for you to do this week is take advantage. You're with a 15-year veteran. I've been doing this for 15 years. I just found out today I'm number 3 all-time in points here at My Lead System Pro, so that's very exciting, behind Michelle and Bill Pescasolido, who I'll tell you something about them in a minute, and Rob Four. So that's pretty darn great company. So memes, wow, and if all of you want memes, down and write in the chat and just go memes, 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 because I'm here to serve you guys. But memes are a topic that I think is fairly easy to access, where I'd encourage you guys maybe to go, not me, but memes. Do you guys want me to talk about memes? If you want me to talk about memes, I will talk about memes. I'm happy. You command me, but I see people writing me. Oh, you're saying me because you were on last week. I'm confused.
I know.
I'm
Well,
so
there's a
confused.
little there's a time delay. I always forget when I ask it.
Oh.
Whenever you ask it, it always happens when you ask a question.
So I'm sorry, guys. So you were on last week. So if you were on last week, did you learn some good stuff? Thank you, guys. I'm just excited about that because I'm really not. I'm not a big internet girl, even though I use the internet extensively. I'm an online networker, as I call it. So that, those are 3 of the biggest internet marketers in the world, Michelle, Bill, and Rob. So for me to be up there with them is kind of cool. It's really kind of fun. I'm usually not one to run around and go, look at me, look at my number. But what do you got, Bert? What do you
Oh,
got?
sorry.
No.
Um,
I want to know in case I want some. What do you got?
none of your business. No,
None of your business? Okay, well, you know what I
no,
got?
get it? No,
You
no,
know
get
what
it.
I got?
No,
Hey,
it's
can you see
non.
this logo? Oh, nom. Okay.
No,
Can I?
none of your business.
None of your
Non.
business. I get it. Wait, can you see the logo on my cup?
I'm so jealous right now.
Oh, and I could go get a light and sweet. I should have gotten a light and sweet hot one and just drank it in front of you. So,
Oh, that's so
nom, none of
ridiculous.
my business.
I was
Mm.
literally I was pulling it out of the oven, and I was like, someone's gonna ask me, and I'm gonna be able to do none of your business.
So you've been waiting. I laid it right out for you. I
You
lined
did.
you up, Bert.
Line me up.
Bert,
You
we're a good tag team. It's a good tag team. Hello, Daria. Daria's on summer vacation in NYC, baby. So back to this. And by the way, if you've never been here before, this is what I do. I ramble. So I usually ramble gold nuggets and things that make you money, but sometimes I just ramble. Who else is a Dunkin' Donuts fan? My children say Dunkin' Donuts is disgusting. I beg to differ with them. They're Starbucks people. Why, I don't know. So anyway, so memes, I could show you how I make memes, and I'd love to. It'd be very fun. And I've taught a lot of people in this group about memes, and a lot of people have taken it to a whole nother level, much higher than, use them much more than I do. Last week we did all those engagement things. So let me ask you guys a question. I love non too, Mina. We all should go to Bert's house. We could hang out with the goats. We could have some none of your business. We could have a bunny in our pocket if we're really, really good. So we could do memes, and if you guys want that, shout about it. But I'm looking for you guys to think a little harder maybe, and think about, because if I teach you how to do a meme today, which we could, it's very fun and it's very cool, and it's one of the engagement things that we can do on Facebook. How do we go to the next level? Because a lot of you were here last week. How do we go to the next level? Where do we take it? And if you have the opportunity to sit with a multi-six-figure 15-year veteran, which you do right now, what do you want to pick their brain on? Okay, because I know when I sit with somebody that has more experience than me, I'm very specific about what I want to pick their brain on. And what I don't want to pick their brain on is something that most everybody could give them information on. So I believe that memes is a topic that most everybody could give you information on. Now, Lisa's getting more specific. I like what Lisa's doing here. Memes for specific usages. And I like that. That's getting a little more specific. But memes in general, it's just, hey, guys, grab your cell phone, whichever kind of phone you have, and go on the App Store, whichever one, whether you have the Play Store or the App Store or whatever, and search for memes. Here, I'll go on mine, Play Store. Search for memes. MEME. right? And it's going to pop up, meme generator, free meme generator, meme generators. And there's all different free ones, okay? So you can put them on your phone. And if you Google meme generator, you're going to find all kinds of meme generators, and it'll tell you how to generate memes. So the magic is not in the meme, is it? Right, Bert? Anybody can make a meme. I mean, it's right here.
Yes, that is
Anybody can
true.
make a meme. So the magic isn't in the meme. Yes, I'm making you guys work. I need cash and leads. Don't we all?
I know, that was my best one. I was like, what do you need? I need cash and leads. You're like, okay, well, listen, I can tell you. If you
Well,
go
no,
right
Christina, I saw that one, but then Christina said, and we talked about this the other day, Christina wants to talk about cash flow. Okay, cash flow in your business on a daily basis. I think that's a great topic. Team retention, Linda just put in, that's a great topic because I just showed you, I am number 3 at a big company for retention. Okay, I haven't driven the most leads. In fact, I've driven no leads. I have certainly not recruited the most people, but I have some of the best retention. And in fact, if you were to look at my figures of how many I've recruited versus how many have stayed, my figures might, if we had a leaderboard for that, mine might be up there, might be number 1. I don't know. I know that the other folks above me have recruited a lot more people than me. I just don't recruit as many people. I don't need to. That came weird. Please don't, that sounded weird. It's not, I come from a network marketing background, so versus internet marketing. Internet marketing has a different philosophy set. So I'm not saying that my way is the way by any means, because those guys are making more money than me. They've made more money than me. In fact, they've made probably $200,000 more than me here. So they're off the hook. So I just think a little differently on some. Okay, looking some more here. Bert, you see anything good you like? Okay, let me just address one thing. I see one person said how to get leads that convert. There are no leads that convert, and all leads convert. Ooh, that's messed up. Every lead doesn't convert and does convert. It has to do with your skill set, with communication, and the information you're putting in front of them. So it's not about, there is no magic place with leads that convert. So it's really important.
there is 2 that are kind of the same. Well, they're kind of the same. One is, let me scroll back. One is,
I'm sorry, Jeremy says I am greatly weird. Jeremy, I'm going to give you the hug, and now you can see me hug you in person. Mwah. Hugs and kisses for Jeremy. I am incredibly weird.
You have to say big chips so we know which Jeremy.
Why is there more than one here?
No, but then because you were talking, because there's Jeremy.
I never call him Big Chips, and I don't know why.
Oh.
He's just, and it's no offense to you, Jeremy, but you're just not a Big Chips to me. It's not because I just don't think of you that way. I just think of you as Cutie Jeremy. I'm sorry. It's like a motherly, friendly, sisterly thing. I don't know. But anyway, I always call him Jeremy.
Oh, it keeps scrolling. There's one that says how to go from engagement to enrollment, and then right below that, it says once you notice people following you, what kind of things do you do to then get them to take action? So it's kind of along the line, and that was from Helena and Christina. I think that's along the lines of kind of continuing from last week.
I'm sorry, I'm writing down how to go from engagement to enrollment. That's such a good headline. See, I take notes. Okay, so you guys, I'm going to give you 2 more minutes. Fight amongst yourselves. I want some consensus. You guys stop saying hello to each other for a minute, and everybody just give it a second and just put like 1 or 2 words about what you want, and then I'll pick 1 or 2. I liked cash flow. I like daily cash flow. I like engagement to enrollment. I like that a lot, which builds on last week. And Jeremy says I can call him whatever I want. Cutie.
I can do the starting of the theme song for us.
Yeah, I'm just looking for the. What do you got today?
How many tunes could you name in 30 seconds? We'll see how many they can.
Now there's like a 26-second digital countdown thing. Awesome. They didn't even have a theme song. Name that tune was so old school. And I looked up the theme hosts. Like I was going to tell you, like I can name that tune in 4 things, Bob. But all of the guys that hosted the game show, they're so old of references that no one will even know who they are. Like it's not.
Walter said, I'm famous for using free lead lists. No, I'm famous for generating leads for free. And I teach people and he asked, is that giving away your edge? If I teach that, I do it all day, every day. I mean, every training I do is about how to get free leads and how to sign people up. Engagement to enrollment. Engagement to enrollment. Simple funnels is another good one too. Engagement to enrollment. Engagement to enrollment. I think Helena's headline has one.
Yep.
Let's see. Give it one more second. Engagement to enrollment. Okay. I like it. Ding, 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 ding. We have selected a tune to sing. All right.
Uh-oh. I think maybe Diane might have froze up. You might have frozen up there. Maybe I'm frozen. We shall see.
Bert.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, I disconnected for a minute or something.
Oh, okay.
How much is a trial? I know this sounds ridiculous. I'm number 3 in the company, and I don't know how much it costs to get started, which is very much typical of the top people at any company. Is it $10?
I think
or
it's
does it depend on the trial?
I think it depends on the trial, but I'm not positive. Okay. But I know I know that there for sure is a $10 trial. But I think there might be also a $2 trial, but I'm not sure if that's still...
Right, for different numbers of days. Okay.
Right,
so you guys will have to go investigate that yourself, because we have 2 levels of membership, University and Mastery. University is awesome for anybody that wants to build their MLM and learn how to generate leads online. You know, they're looking to build that lead list, etc., looking for hot prospects and so on. And then Mastery has the added benefit for folks that want extra cash flow, access to our amazing library with thousands of trainings that have come from the top people in this industry over the last 5 years or so. So there's extra benefits to Mastery. You guys can go look at that. And I think the 2 different trials cost 2 different amounts. But if you didn't catch last week's training, I'm going to cover some stuff today that builds upon last week. So if you didn't catch last week, you might want to go grab it. You don't have to be, you don't have to stick around. If you don't like us, just go grab a trial, watch the training, cancel, you'll get your money back, and that's that. Now, I'm not supposed to say that in public, but one, maybe you're involved in something else and we still want you to learn, and I really don't want you to miss out on that training. Maybe for whatever reason you can't join the best lead thing in the industry, whatever. You can't do it and you can't do it. But also maybe you have a budgetary issue this week. I was broke when I started my business, so maybe you can't swing it. That's cool. We're going to be here when you're ready. Or I'm just thinking that if I get you inside the door, you might want to stay. But so I'm being a little tricky there. I admit it. Which is, by the way, guys, write that down. If you get enough people in the door, a certain percentage will stay. I always like to get people in the door so they can feel the family. Okay, feel the love. So MLSP.com, grab the trial, and you can get last week's training. So engagement. We went over last week all these different ways to get people liking your stuff and commenting on your stuff. And what we didn't cover is then how to start really communicating with people so that we have the opportunity to then potentially present to someone. So there's a couple of things I like to do. And let me give the disclaimer, and then Bert will give his synopsis of my disclaimer. I will show you things today, and that's why I'm glad you're here. I will show you things today that you will think are so stupid simple, there's no way that's the answer. In fact, I guarantee that you will leave here thinking there's no way. There's no way that that woman does what she does. There's really must be some other secret. It's got to be harder than that. And that's good. Go ahead and do that. Or you can do what Bert did. Bert, go ahead and give your portion of the disclaimer.
Well, my portion is that you can do whatever you want to do, but the easiest thing to do is just stop just allow yourself to have the doubts and the disbelief, but then while allowing that, just go take the action and literally see how easy it is. And then you will absolutely be amazed. Before you're really even all the way through the steps, you will be doubting why you hadn't just done this before, and then you'll remember, oh yeah, I thought it was too easy. It was too simple. That's
So
it.
while you're doubting it, why not just do it to prove me wrong? Why not? Hello, puppy. Why not prove me wrong? Send me your complaints. You can send all your complaints to bert@bertbledsoe.com. All your complaint letters, feel free to send them to bert@bertbledsoe.com. He will gladly not read them for you. So, but why not, while you're in disbelief and while you doubt, and while you think it has to be more complicated, why not just try it so you can prove me wrong? Yesterday, I had a group, one of my private training groups, I challenged them to do something. And it was really interesting because a bunch of people said, all right, and they took action. And all of a sudden, they got all these free leads. And they were like, oh my gosh, it works. And I dangled the prize in front of them. And then there were other people that were busy trying to prove to me that it doesn't work. Bert, you saw some people trying to prove to me that it doesn't work. I did exactly what you said, and it didn't work. Okay, you didn't do exactly what I said. You threw in your belief process. So from engagement to enrollment. Okay, so the first thing is I am absolutely psychotic. Jeremy says I'm a little weird. He's right. I am psychotic about getting people to subscribe to my list, to my newsletter, okay? So if you're an MLSP member by now, you all should have an autoresponder, either the one that comes, the basic one that comes included with our system, or you've gone ahead and gotten your AWeber or GetResponse. The one tool that you cannot run your business without, if you're going to operate online, is an autoresponder. If you're on a tight budget, eliminate a lot of things. Don't eliminate your autoresponder. Okay, so I am psychotic about getting people on my list. And every day I look for new ways to get people on my list. So if somebody is engaging with me, if they are liking my posts, if they are commenting, if they are coming around after you do what we learned about last week, first of all, write this down. Number one, I'm gonna get my notepad out. We're gonna make notes.
I got notes. I'm keeping them.
Oh, this is from one of my other classes. I'm like, I always love when I pop up my notebook, and I never know what my notepad, because I never know what's there, and there's usually some gold there. Number one, okay, a la Frank Kern. Okay, you're not super salesperson. Okay, you're not. You know, you don't go from being normal person to MLM man the minute you start talking to somebody that might be a prospect. Okay, just be cool. Okay, if you will just be cool, things will be a lot easier. Don't worry about whether they're going to say yes, whether they're going to say no, whether you're going to enroll them, whether you're going to get them. Just seek to get to know the person. Okay, so the first thing I do when somebody's sniffing around my Facebook is I go look at their profile. Let's randomly pick someone. Who gives me permission to show their profile online? Somebody give me permission. I'll take a second. I'll pull it up. So I'm going to go over to their profile, okay, and I'm going to start looking. That non is looking really good right now, Bert. It's good.
I'm sorry. They're all in the chat, like going, oh yeah, send the things to Bert. Send them to Bert. Like I'm like, oh, thanks.
I'm not seeing any of that. Did my chat stop, or?
Maybe it's just like 2 or 3 of them, and then now they're.
Okay.
Oh, now here we go. Me, Douglas.
Wait, let me.
Your question.
Hang on a minute. Let me re-engage my chat here because it doesn't seem to be working right.
Everyone wants you to show their profile. Malia, birthday. You could.
See, I don't see any of this. Really? Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Malia.
I'm going to turn off my webinars on air and return it on and see if I can get it to work right. My nickname is the Digital Dingbat, by the way, all of you. I break webinars and Hangouts and all kinds of things, particularly when I'm in public. It's more fun that way. So who says I can pick someone that I can? profile?
Everyone.
Well, pick
There's
someone.
Andy, how about Andy Lockhart said sure.
All
He
right,
did.
let's use Andy. We'll use Andy. Okay, turn this on. Why are we favoring Andy? Because he's cute and he has a British accent. That's why. So it's
Well,
all about Andy.
that was Diane. That was from Diane when she said, "Why are we?" That was only her half. That wasn't
Oh,
why.
okay, so you
I
don't
was
you
like,
don't
"That's
find
not why,
I do.
Andy." I just
Okay.
want Andy to be clear. That wasn't the reason I had in
Okay,
mind,
you're not
Andy.
finding him as cute as I find him. Okay, with all
Yeah.
due respect to his lovely Leslie, his wife is very cute too. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, okay, is I'm going to go over and okay, first thing I'm seeing is chocolate shoes on his profile, which I think is a little strange. But anyway, I will investigate that in a moment. First thing I'm going to do, okay, is I'm going to look and I'm going to find out where is the person. In this particular case, Andy, I shouldn't have shown yours because it's a company name. Everybody don't look. But we find out he's with a particular company. He lives in Texas. Okay, Andy, I'd love it if it said Egham, United Kingdom. When I scroll over it, I don't know why it doesn't say it there. But he's from the UK. Okay. I can see that we have 249 friends in common. You can see this now, Bert, right? As I'm
Yes,
talking
totally.
about a minute. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so I can kind of get a vibe about how active he is. Okay. And oh, this is cool because he's talking about his wife having too many shoes, and these are chocolate shoes. And I'm going to scroll around, and mostly I'm looking at pictures. I'm always looking at pictures. I'm trying to find out what a person is about. Okay, and then look, there's an engagement thing: frozen yogurt or ice cream. You have no idea, by the way, Andy. Sidebar story. When I was pregnant with my first daughter, Jillian, who some of you have met, I lived on Ben and Jerry's chocolate fudge brownie frozen yogurt. Okay, I just craved it. I was always sending Larry out for it. So one day, and Jillian loves it. So one day, and I told her she was spawned on frozen yogurt. So one day, Larry, but she thought it was chocolate fudge brownie ice cream, not frozen yogurt. So she called her father and said, on the way home, would you stop and pick up some chocolate fudge brownie? So he comes home with frozen yogurt instead of ice cream. And the child goes ballistic. Jillian has a little bit of a temper. And she goes ballistic because he brought home frozen yogurt instead of ice cream. Little did she realize that the frozen yogurt was exactly what she was birthed on. So frozen yogurt or ice cream in my home is a big, big, big topic. So I'm looking. Why am I telling you that story, guys? Because when I looked at Andy's profile and I saw this, I related to him. Okay, so write this down. What we're looking for, I put down number 1, just be cool. Number 2, find things you relate on. Now, somebody right now is already thinking, I don't care about frozen yogurt or brownies. I just want to recruit them. Okay, I don't care whether it's ice cream or frozen yogurt. I don't care about chocolate shoes. I don't care about what movies he likes. Well, here's why you should. Because if you can find something that you relate to somebody on, you can start an authentic conversation. Okay, otherwise they're very fake. Okay, how many of you, and I can't see the chat, but Bert, you'll inform me, how many of you have had somebody try to initiate a conversation with you that from the very first sentence, you can tell that they have an agenda? And you can tell that they're trying to solicit you in some way or another, no matter what they say, because they could tell you, I'm just really looking to meet like-minded individuals and I hate spam. What do you think about that? How many of you can tell right away when somebody is being weird? Now, not the kind of weird that Jeremy said I was, because that's the good kind of weird. Bert, you are weird. Do you accept that as truth?
That is true.
But you are the good kind of weird. Lisa Thompson, you are totally weird. And I am saying that with the deepest love and respect for you. Lisa's the good kind of weird. I'd be willing to bet, I'm not looking at the attendees right now, but I'd be willing to bet I could run through this list. Mina, you're totally weird. Andy's totally weird. There's all of you. Jeremy is super weird. Okay? That's the good kind of weird. Weird, fun, funky, different, interesting. Okay, versus weird. Weird, like ladies. Do you remember when the guy was like ready to come on to you? And you knew and you could feel him coming from across the room and he was being weird? All of you, do you know when somebody's trying to show you an opportunity? I was just wondering if you keep your eye open for opportunity. Get away from me. Okay, that's weird. Okay, so what we're looking, go ahead.
Everyone says yes in the chat, like
Yeah.
they've all
Okay,
had that.
so we have to just be cool and find things we can relate on, because then I can start a legitimate conversation with somebody. Okay, now you can private message someone. I personally like to write on people's walls, which is very controversial because everybody thinks writing on somebody's wall is evil. If you look at my wall, I'll come back to you in a minute, Andy. See, I told you he's cute. Isn't he cute, guys? Girls, whoever. If you look at my wall, most of the posts are going to be by other people. So far, Richard said, hey, something, he quoted me. Thank you, Richard. That's very nice. Okay. Bob put up the logo for Name That Tune, and we had an incredible Name That Tune discussion today, which is one of the tips from last week, wasn't it? Somebody write in the chat, name that tune. Why did I use it? Which one of the tips was it? For those of you that were here last week. You guys should come every week. I mean, you don't have to, but... we're going to build upon stuff. Okay, so there's one from me. There's one from Debbie. They were promoting today's webinar. My daughter wrote something. If I just keep scrolling, most of the posts on my wall. There's one from Bert. Oh, there's this goat. Okay, Lisa, did you see this goat? I mean, is this not the best goat in the world? What's this goat's name, Bert?
Jessica calls it pork chop.
Pork chop. That's a great name. Yeah. I like it. Fuzzy little pork chop.
I call it baby goat because it's
baby
like a
goat. That's like my cat's real name is Susie Q, but I never call it Susie Q. I call it Cassandra. I mean, Catsandra, Katrina, Catalicious. I call her all kinds of stupid names. Okay. So you'll see most of the posts on my wall. There's Felicia. Most of the posts on my wall are going to be by other people. Okay. That shows people. And I like it that way. That shows not solicitations. If somebody solicits me on my wall or puts a link, I'm going to delete that. But I want people coming over to my house. I want people coming. So if I go back to Andy, and I'm going to write on his wall, but you can private message him. Let's say he's already interacted with me. He's already engaged with me. If he's engaged with me, he knows who I am, right? I'm not just going to random strangers. Andy has engaged with me, and I write, hey, Andy, how far from London I think I am going to the UK in September. This is true, by the way. Looking for some any suggestions? Okay. Now, is that legit? Hello, baby. Is that legit? Writing that to Andy, I really am interested. I probably am going. We're looking at it right now, whether I can make it over before Live the Dream, which I'll tell you about in a minute. And Andy is a UK native. So is that a legit thing to write to him? And I'm not looking at the chat, so I'm assuming Bert's saying yeah. Okay. And Andy just liked it, because he's watching this. Okay. So if I'm having this conversation with Andy and I'm asking his expertise about something, or I'm talking to him about something else I've seen on his wall, it doesn't have to be about the UK. It could be about anything. It could be about I could write something funny about frozen yogurt and whatchamacallit, ice cream. I'm looking for things that I really have some type of connection to him about. Okay, if I look at someone and there's no connection, there's nothing that I relate to them about, why would I continue? Do you want to recruit someone that you don't dig? No, right? I mean, why? If you have nothing in common with somebody and you don't see anything that makes you go, okay, this person is cool, who's up for a carrot facial? Okay, I'll ask you about that later. That's interesting. So I'm starting a conversation with him, and I know he just wrote me back there. Let's see what he said. And thank you for playing along, Andy. He will get a consolation prize. He will get Rice-A-Roni, the San Francisco treat, right, Bert?
That's right, Diane. Rice-A-Roni. It's San Francisco's treat. You can get it at your local Kroger's, Safeway, or Piggly Wiggly today for only $1.29.
Anybody who's younger than 40 is like, what are they talking about?
I have no idea.
I used to make believe I was sick to stay home from school to watch game shows. Did anybody else?
I love game
All
shows.
Right. Okay, so
30 minutes by train.
So I can then start a conversation. In which direction? Okay. So as you're having a conversation with someone, and if it starts to get too long, I take it private. Now I private message them. Why do I write on their wall versus going private message first? Because that would be like, you ever walk around your neighborhood, maybe you're walking your dog or something, you see a neighbor watering the lawn, you're like, hey, Bob, how you doing? What's going on? What you doing this weekend? And he's out on his lawn and you're walking your dog. But if I wouldn't just wander my neighborhood walking my dog, tie my dog up and walk into someone's house. Okay, private messaging is like walking into someone's house psychologically. Okay, it's kind of invading. And it's the same thing. Let's say I know Bert and I'm going by Bert's house and I know Bert and Jessica and they're cool with me walking in. Maybe we're friends, we've known each other for years. And I go, knock, knock, hey, Bert, hey, Jess, what's going on? Right? I'm not going to walk in their house, go in the refrigerator, and then go in their bathroom. Like private, I mean like their bedroom bathroom, like they have an extra bathroom. I'm not going to go in their bedroom. It's just weird. So when we're engaging with people, this is very deep stuff. It sounds so stupid, but you have to get levels of permission for communication. Write that down. I'm making this up as I go along, Bert, but it's so true. You must get levels PRMIS, permission, when communicating. Okay, this is what people miss, okay? They don't get levels of permission. They don't get, and it's the same thing when you're out dating and picking up chicks and all that other stuff. Most of us, since many of us seem to name that tune, I'm assuming not that many of us are out picking up chicks, but maybe some of you are. Good for you. If you don't get levels of permission to get closer to someone, to put your hand on someone, to potentially put your arm around their shoulder, right, and then go further, maybe kiss them on the cheek, then kiss them on the lips, then give them a big wet kiss, okay, you can't just go from hey, how you doing to French kiss. Sorry, but why, by the way, why do I use terms like that? To jar you and to embed this in your memory. Because from now on, every time you see someone infiltrating your space and not getting levels of permission to communicate, you're going to see their big tongue coming at you. And you're going to be like, ew! It's mental. Gross, right?
Mm-hmm. And weird.
Super gross. And weird. But you will never forget it. And that's my goal, okay? I want to get into your brain, so I have to use pictures and I have to embed things into you. So you're literally going to from now on, every time you have a desire to go be weird with someone like that, you're going to stop yourself because all you're going to see is that big tongue going at someone. It's just weird and it's creepy and it's yucky, and that's what people do in their marketing. So 1, just be cool. 2, find things you can relate on, and then you're going to get levels of permission when communicating. So let me go back to Andy. West of London. It's near where the Magna Carta was signed if you're a history buff, and about 15 minutes from Windsor Castle. Ooh, I'd love to see. Is it okay? Did you say something, Bert?
Oh, I
Or
was
are you
going to say
talking?
which one, no, I was watching you type it. I was wondering which one is the Windsor Castle? Which one is that?
Uh,
Is that where all the
it's
royal
well,
family lives?
Buckingham Palace is the
Oh,
big
yeah,
one in the
that's,
middle of London
yeah.
with the guys that you can stand in
No,
front of. There's a name for
no.
them. And then the Tower of London is where they have the crown jewels and all that other stuff. So Windsor Castle is I don't know, it's Windsor Castle. I don't know. I just know what it is.
No, I know.
Um,
That's what I thought. I wasn't sure if it was if that was. I couldn't think of the place, Buckingham Palace. I think those guys are called. I'm just throwing this out here. I think they're called Beefeaters. Are they?
Yeah,
Are those?
Beefeaters are the guys at the palace. I mean, at the Tower of London. I don't know if the guys at the. Anyway, Andy will teach us. We'll learn.
Andy will join us.
You'd think I'd know after however many trips I've been over. So now, listen. This is legit. This is what I want you guys to get. This is legit. I really would like to know. I'm not making this up. I'm not being a troll. Okay? So I'm saying I'd love to see Windsor Castle. Cool. Is it okay if I private message you? I need some help with this. The trip is coming up soon. I need some. I don't like help with this. Some. Trip is coming up soon. Guys, very important. Last week I showed people some ideas, and what I saw happen was people started to use them, but then everybody started to use the same one. I gave 11, but like 2 were used. So you guys don't all want to go on Facebook today and go, let me find a foreign person and make believe I'm going to their country and ask them a question about where they live, okay? That is not what I'm getting at, because I'm going to do it with another person in a minute. Okay, now Andy again kind of knows me. Andy really does know me, but let's make believe he kind of knows me. He's been doing some engagement, et cetera, et cetera. I got him to engage with me, and now I ask him, can I contact you privately about something? Okay, chances are he's going to say okay. During the time that I'm asking him legit questions about my trip to London, the chances of us talking about business in some way, shape, or form is going to happen. It's very high. Okay, if Larry goes to a meeting of counselors, and even though they're talking about Tai Chi, do you think they might talk about counseling at some point? They're going to. Larry's a counselor, my husband. Okay, if Bert goes to a barbecue, but other people own goats, do you think that at some point they're going to talk goats? Of course they are. If Bert goes to a barbecue and he meets other people that run or bike, because he's an athlete, do you think that they might talk about that one race, that they blew it on, or the one race that was their glory race? So if you're both marketers, and we already know that you are, okay, by the thing, the chances of you talking about marketing during the conversation is very, very high, okay? So take it private. By the way, it could be, is it okay if I private message you? And then when I private message them, I say, any chance I could catch you on the phone for a few minutes? So you could take it to the phone, or you can take it to a private message. Okay? So take it private. Okay? And then once we take it private, you're looking for the pivot moment. By the way, if the pivot moment is the moment where we move to business. If the pivot moment doesn't come, is that okay? Of course it does. It's okay. By the way, this isn't scientific. This is just human. This is just human. This is the same as if I meet a girl. I'm not me meet a girl. I mean, I'm not looking to meet girls. But if I'm a guy and I meet a girl and we're talking about our dogs because we met in the park, I'm looking for the pivot moment where I can find out if she's single and if she's interested. Once I find the pivot moment, I can say, well, I don't know if you're busy Friday, but I'd love to meet for coffee maybe without the dogs. You're looking for the pivot moment, okay? And the pivot moment then allows you to make an invitation. Now, let's get really clear on this, because this is very, very, very simple. An invitation doesn't have to be like, guys, I use dating a lot because it's the easiest way to understand. So please don't be offended by anything I say. I'm not saying it to be gross. I'm saying it for you to understand this. If I meet someone, we have a nice conversation, Okay, and I always do it guy to girl because it's easier to understand. Because girl to guy, if I'm a girl and I say, hey, would you like to go to bed? The guy's going to probably go, yeah, let's go. So you got to do it from the other angle. So I meet someone. We're having a nice time. We're all talking. We end up, just the two of us hit it off. We have a lot in common. We both came from from New York. We both love, I don't know. We remember going to Shea Stadium when we were kids. Shea Stadium's now ripped down. Blah, 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 blah. We're having this great conversation. I could make an invitation, okay? The invitation can be something as simple as, hey, do you want to go get some Chinese? Okay, we're at a bar. We're all hanging out. Hey, do you want to go get some Chinese? I'm going to grab a bite. The invitation could be, hey, I had a really fun time. Any chance you want to get together on Friday? Or the invitation can be, hey, baby, do you want to come home tonight? So when you make an invitation in business, the pivot moment is where it turns to business. We're talking about marketing or something comes up about lead generation. Andy already he's been poking around my profile to start with. Remember, these are people that have already engaged. So now I have a chance to say, my favorite invitation is when they ask me a question, I go, I have my newsletter and I put out stuff like this all the time. Would you like me to put you on it? Okay, that's my favorite invitation. I don't necessarily go for the, let me show you my video on my MLM, or let me get you a free, not a free trial, but a trial to MLSP. I don't go there. My first invitation is almost always, and this is a big key to my success, is I make an invitation to my newsletter first. So newsletter, okay? If I can get someone on my list and I can keep them on my list, I can expose them to everything I do. And they are exposed of their own volition and happily. I have their permission to expose them. So I make an invitation. Now the invitation, like if he specifically expressed challenge with something in particular, like lead generation or something, I could say, hey, Wednesday night we have a great webinar. Bill and Michelle Pescasolido, I'm sure you've heard of them, just hit the top level in our, over at our lead generation system, and they're going to be talking, and Bill's going to be covering our new customer retention tool. And it really might help you. Would you like the link? Would you like to come? So I could invite them to Wednesday night, and I'll tell you guys a little bit more about that, because this Wednesday, tomorrow night, you guys absolutely want to be on. It's going to be a critical training that Bill and Michelle are doing. It's also going to reveal a new tool that we have. First time you all are seeing it. And we're also going to make a big announcement, although I think it leaked today, about a special speaker at our live event who never comes out to speak. In fact, I don't think he's spoken anywhere publicly in 2 years. So I can make an invitation to my newsletter. I can make an invitation to a live event. Or if he says, I hate my MLM by any chance, I can make an invitation to look at a presentation. I can say, Andy, I don't know, I don't know a lot about your program, but if you're unhappy, if you're looking, I could show you what I'm up to. I don't know if it'd be a good fit for you. So one, I'm being cool. Okay, at no point during this conversation am I going to be lunging at him or trying to quote unquote get him. I want you guys to see my face for a minute. Let me go back here and turn off the screen. Let's see. Okay, am I here?
You are here.
Okay, I want to make you guys see me. Okay, I'm lounging now, so I'm kind of leaning back. At no point am I trying to get him? Okay, get him. I really want to know about whatever it is. I really want to know about Bert's goats. I really want to know about all the different things about you guys I would want to know about. Okay, during the conversation, I'm getting to know you and I'm seeing if there might be a match or a fit here. At the very least, I'm delusional. I think I write a great newsletter, and I think everybody should be on my newsletter. So I'll invite anybody, to say, hey, I don't know what you're up to, but I have a great newsletter, and it really might help you out. I'm always writing things about lead generation, recruiting, all that type of stuff. Would you like to be on it? Okay, and then I either tell them where to go sign up or I just take their email from them. Don't be afraid to get people's emails and subscribe them manually, guys. You can't import whole lists, but you certainly can take 3, 4, 5, up to 10 people a day. Aweber will not blink if you take them manually. So I'm always looking for common ground, having relationship, chatting on something that we relate on legitimately, because what's the worst thing that happens? I find out that I really like Andy and he helped me with my trip. It's the worst thing that happens. See, everybody's in a big rush. Everybody doesn't want to go through that part. They just want to go, sorry, my stress. They just want to go in for the big smooch. See, I need a little romance. I want to meet the person, decide whether I would even want to work with them, see if they're looking for anything or if I have anything that can help them. I will make an invitation to something that's helpful to them. And then if it's appropriate, I will then, through my newsletter, I will expose them to the different things I'm working on, because my newsletter exposes everybody to the different things I'm working on, and or talk to them about my opportunity if they're looking. Now, Andy, I know Andy. I personally know Andy. Andy loves his company and he's very secure. I know who he is, I know what he's working on, and I know, who he's working with. I'm not going to solicit him from an MLM. But 3 years from now, if something should happen, because nothing ever happens in this industry, right? But if something should happen, I'm not saying it will happen at his company either, because they're very stable. They're growing like gangbusters. But if something should happen, would I like to have this relationship with Andy and be the first person he thinks of to call if he's going to make a move? This is the magic. So those are the steps from engagement to enrollment. It's all in the invitation. And that, my friends, is what most people are missing. They haven't learned to get permission, and they haven't learned to make an invitation, whether the invitation's made one-on-one through networking and talking to people, or whether the invitation's made via a letter that goes out to your list. Invitations must be made to your list, to MLSP if you're promoting MLSP, and to your opportunity. And if you were to think about it, I want you to write down on your paper, how many invitations did you make last week for somebody to look at something that you were promoting that would make you money? And then, and write that down, because for a lot of you, the number's 0 or the number's less than 10, okay, if you really think about it. And then, so it's just a matter of numbers. And then I want you to think about, out of the number of invitations that you made, how many did you really have permission to make? Because making an invitation without permission is grounds for what? A slap in the face. And that's why it's painful. If you have permission and you invite someone and you're cool, Andy could say, Di, I'd love to be on your newsletter, but I get so many emails. I'm just going to follow you on Facebook. Would that be a slap in the face, or would that just be Andy saying, I don't really use email. It's too much. So I follow people on Facebook. That wouldn't be a horrible rejection. That would just be, I just deleted a bunch of subscriptions. And I would be like, cool. This is no big deal. Okay. So Jimmy says this is very powerful, and I'm really glad you think so, because it's that simple. Let me see what else some people. Anybody else write anything? It's really cool stuff. It's really, really cool stuff. And the same thing applies, guys, with your list, okay? When you get people on your email list, it's the same thing. I'm always telling a story or writing something interesting. Like my email today was about Name That Tune. And oh, by the way, at 3 o'clock, we're playing Name That Tune on my webinar. So it was engaging with it in nostalgia and fun and memories. And then it was saying, hey, here's an invitation. That's why I'm able to bring so many people to the community. That's why I'm able to make so much money with the pure profit products. That's why I'm able to have the retention, because I'm constantly and continually inviting, but I'm inviting in a cool way. I'm not going, I want that in your brain. I want you guys to be like, ew, okay? Yeah, Lisa says, stop the bad romance, little Lady Gaga. Yeah. It's everybody else is just going in and like no permission and attacking people. And true networkers and or good copywriters are telling stories, engaging, relating, then inviting. And remember, the invitation can be on multiple levels. You don't have to go in for, will you go to the prom with me? It could be, do you want to have a milkshake on Friday after school? Okay, you don't got to get married. How about we just build that relationship? So let's see what everybody's coming in with. So let's take some Q&A. I think we've covered that. Let me put these up. Let me just put these up against, you guys can jot them down and make sure I wrote them all properly. Can you see my screen now, or no, you can't? No, you can't. Let's see.
Yeah.
I didn't hit the right button, which is typical. Okay. Okay, let me put 7. Okay, so just be cool, find things you relate on. You must get levels of permission when communicating. Take it private. Look for the pivot moment where, generally, I call it the confession. Let me put that in there. Generally, people will at some point complain or make a confession about their struggle. When they do, that's when it's easy to make an invitation. I feel you, man. I used to struggle with that too. We have a webinar going on Wednesday all about this. I don't know if it'd be helpful to you, but I can give you the link. Okay, or hey, I totally remember when it was like that for me. And by the way, if it's like that for you now, relate to them and say, you know what, I heard about this training on Wednesday, I'm going to. Or use some of the system campaigns from MLSP and give them away a training. I used to have a hard time with Facebook advertising. Then I watched this one training. Do you want the link? Okay, so very, very simple. Pivot moment is where they make a confession or complain about struggle. Then make an invitation. I like it to be to my newsletter, but you can invite them to a system campaign, anything you want, and then continually expose and invite until there's a moment where it's appropriate to show them your MLM. Okay, some people, they're happy the MLM is not appropriate. Sell them a pure profit product. Bring them into MLSP. Keep that relationship alive. Some people are looking. And I always just, when I'm talking to people, like, it's just a matter of conversation. Well, are you secure? Most of the time I'll say to someone, so what program are you working? Loving it? And they'll tell me I'm working XYZ, and yeah, I love it. It's absolutely awesome. Great. So is there anything I can do to help you out? Okay, normal conversations. And then expose and invite. And when they're on your list, they get exposed to everything because you're always telling them about what webinar is going on or what new product or whatever. So, does everybody have those? I can put those, I'll put those in the Facebook group. You guys want me to put them in a Facebook group? Is that helpful?
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Yeah. All right, I'll put them in the Facebook group. Let me come over here. Bert, we see any good questions or commentary from anybody?
Well, there was one, but I don't. There was one question that I can't see the question answer. I'm just looking in the chat. One was like regarding the newsletter invite. It says, "What about people not interested in marketing?" That was. Well,
I'm not really engaging with people that aren't interested in marketing.
Exactly.
Because there's, if I looked at Andy's profile and all he ever talked about was chocolate shoes, and I knew he wasn't interested in marketing, he was only into chocolate shoes, I probably wouldn't start the conversation. By the way, please be clear. I didn't ask Andy about the UK. The thing I related to him about was he's from the UK and I'm going. Okay? Be clear. Somebody else, it might be they just came back from watching, what's a new movie out? Lucy. I haven't seen it, and I hear mixed things about it. So if somebody says they just went to see the movie Lucy, I might ask them, so what did you think? I'm thinking about going this weekend. Is it worth the money? Okay? I'm engaging with them about something that I'm interested or I have in common. Okay? Bert is always showing pictures of bunnies and goats. I like bunnies and goats. I think they're really cute, but I've never had a bunny, nor have I had a goat. So I can only go so far on that conversation because I don't know. I mean, I could talk about my cat poop versus goat poop, I suppose. I don't know. But so you look for things that you really legitimately have in common. And by the way, I always do this. So if you come to Live the Dream, which is our live event, it's livethedreamevent.com that's coming up at the end of September. By the way, let me just scare you guys. One, the room block is full and they're getting some more. But Austin is very busy that weekend. Do not hesitate to book a room. You can always cancel. Thank you for putting that in, Bert.
Yep.
But get a room. Get it now. Okay. Two, Wednesday night, tomorrow night, Bill and Michelle are going to come on. We're having a huge celebration of their hitting L6, leadership level 6, first people ever to do it in MLSP. It's a very, very big deal. They got a cash prize and all this other stuff. We got that going on tomorrow night. They're going to do a training. They're going to train about customer retention tool that we're launching, which only some people are going to get. I'm not telling who. And we're going to be announcing our big special speaker. And tomorrow night there's going to be a surge of ticket sales, and then the price is going up. So if you have not grabbed your ticket to Live the Dream, Roxanne, why do they raise the price? For good reason. Because people won't take action unless you give them a deadline. Okay, plus we have to make guarantees to hotels and convention centers, etc. So we need to have a good idea about how many people are coming. And if people, I mean, the tickets are $97 or whatever they are. So we have to do that. And every event has to do that because we have to cause people to take action. And that's something you can learn and use in your business in a whole bunch of ways. But a lot of people will dilly-dally to the end, and you see MLSPs on the hook with the convention center and the hotel. I don't know if you guys realize that. We have to guarantee those rooms. If people don't show up, guess who pays? MLSP. If we get a room for the event that's big enough to hold, I don't know, let's say we get a room that's big enough to hold 700 and only 500 show up, right? Because we let them go to the end. Guess who paid for a more expensive room than we needed? So it's very important, guys. If you're committed to this event, or if you even have an inkling that you want to go, get the ticket. You can always sell it to someone else later because let's face it, people are going to want to buy it from someone because the price is more. And or you can figure out your route to the event, as far as getting there. So it's very important. So that event is coming up. So tomorrow night there's some very special announcements. So you want to be there at 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll give you that link. Bert, if you could type in that link too, it would be great. Just the MLSP version, the short version.
Yeah.
And so that is going on. And when you guys hear who's speaking, some of you may already know, you're going to want to be. Roxanne, I appreciate that you're not sure, but that's how it works. The price isn't going up by $1 million, but now you understand why, because it makes it difficult for the organization to plan. So they're giving a deal to the people who can commit. It's not so much that we're raising the price on you. It's really more that we're giving a discount to the people that make a decision early, because the retail price is, it's posted. The host hotel is the Hyatt Place that's down there. I think you get that information when you get your ticket. So that is going on tomorrow night. Very big deal. So do we have any other questions about what I covered today? It takes a little more patience. You need to work with bigger numbers, okay? That's why we're so big on lead generation here at MLSP, because if you're dealing with more people, you don't have that anxiousness to get someone. If I can't keep up with the number of people that engage with me. I can't possibly keep up. So once you really learn the skills and you study, what happens is there's so many people, you start to pick and choose. And that's a really nice feeling when you're screening people instead of you hoping you get them. It's more about, is this a match? Who would be a great person to work with? Who am I meant to work with? Let's see. One other thing you guys should know, The room for Live the Dream, it's at a Hyatt Place. Your internet's included. I'm pretty sure Hyatt Places include breakfast, and those rooms are really big. Again, I haven't been on this property, but I've been at several other Hyatt Places. Really great deal. Do not hesitate to share rooms here because you have a lot of space. The room I had was a one-bedded room. I went to one in Orlando, and I went to another one in LA, and you had one bed, and then you had a whole nother like pull-out couch area. And then a big bathroom. So you have like an office space and a big couch space. So it's kind of like a suite. I don't know what the two-bedded rooms are like, whether you still have that same couch set up. And you can call the property. But I wouldn't be surprised if you could sleep 5 in a room because 2 on each bed and somebody on that couch if they have the same couch set up. Not sure, ask them, but you guys can split rooms and all that other good stuff. So it's pretty cool. Anybody have any questions about what we covered today? Make sure you go back and watch that training from last week, because the more engagement you get, the more you get to look through and see what you have in common with people, the more you get to have chats and conversations. You know, I could do this all day if we had more time. I could look at other people's profiles and find something I have in common with everybody, something that I relate to them on. And then the next thing you know, we can have a conversation, look for the pivot point. I don't know off the top of my head, Walter, what the room price is. You need to go ahead and, you know, go through and get your ticket and everything. So go to livethedreamevent.com. All the information's there. But that pivot moment is the key. The pivot moment. And guys, here's the thing. You're the leader. So you need to not be the one complaining or confessing. Okay? You need to not be the complainer or the confessor, because guess what? Then they become the person that you just gave permission to, and they're going to invite you to something, and you're going to get distracted, and you're going to go off. You got to get solid in where you are and what you're working with and what you're doing. And here at My Lead System Pro, just so many people have come through here and become professional marketers. So you're in the right place. So just don't you be weak and wishy-washy all over the place. So that's it. It's 4:06.
4:06.
We could do like 1 or 2 questions if you guys want, or Bert, if you have any any commentary.
Well, I just love, I know people think it is really so simple. People, even today, people are like, oh, what do? You know what? I just do the same thing I've been doing that everyone told me to do. It's so simple. Look, I know. I'm on the whole call, and everyone's like, what are you going to talk about tomorrow? Where do you get your content? I got it right here. I just got it.
There you go.
Okay? I just got 7 steps from engagement to enrollment. It's too easy. Just follow the directions, and I wrote them all out here, and now we have content for tomorrow. And it's that simple. That's what I love about coming to Ultimate Freedom Webinar. It's what I love about My Lead System Pro. They don't make it like you don't have to know the chemical composition of how to build a laptop or what the strategic quantum speed for the core matrix multiplier thing is. You don't need to know any of that. All you do is go and talk to some people, do it with some really simple steps, and you can start to build relationships, get more leads. The whole thing, it's a snowball. And I think the thing is, everyone doesn't realize that every single snowball, when you start off, you have to literally reach down and grab this snow and have a handful of snow first, right? That's how you start to build a snowman. And you start to build that snowball in your hand, and pretty soon it gets so big you can't hold it. Then you put it on the ground and make it bigger and bigger and bigger, and then you start pushing it. The thing is, you just keep pushing it and pushing it until it's rolling by itself. That's what you said. And now it's your snowball's rolling, and you get to pick which people. You're like, oh, that guy looks like a nice guy. I'll go talk to him. Or that lady seems like she might be a fun lady to work with. I'll pay attention to her. So it's a fun deal. I don't know how I got this. I don't know how I thought of a snowball story in the middle of summer, but
Hey, well, I think we all do, though, because you think about it. There's a whole crew, including Miss Lisa over there and Scott and the other. They keep talking about Christmas. I want to pinch them. That's all. Every day they're talking about Christmas. I'm like, it's July, people. But we all do that. We go to the polar opposite. I can't help it. I saw somebody ask, how do I feel about people tagging me? I love, and I said this last week, I love when people tag me about something relevant. Okay, is this relevant? Always ask yourself, whenever you go to write something, say something, whatever you're going to do, is this relevant to my person, my prospect, or my person I'm meeting? Okay, hate to use the word prospect because not everybody's a prospect. You don't know until you engage with them. But is what I'm doing relevant? So if one of you guys wants to make commentary about what you learned today and you tag me, rock it. Please tag me. If one of you guys finds Bert tagged me with a picture of a goat yesterday. It was. I showed you guys. It's like a cute little furry goat with little sunglasses on. Why did he tag me? Because he knows I thought it would be cute. He didn't tag me with a secret agenda to recruit me. Diane, I'm recruiting you with goats. You're mesmerized. Now join my deal. So tag. Guys, people never tag when you're edifying. Okay, when you're paying a compliment, when you're quoting, when you're sharing something relevant. People do mind when you tag, when it's just too much. Okay, guys, be aware, because I see this a lot. People do good tagging, but they do it too often. Tagging, especially a top player, tagging them every day with a question. I'd like to know what so-and-so, 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 and so-and-so think. Okay, it's annoying. Okay, I don't mind somebody putting a question and tagging me and Ray Higdon once in a while. But if it's every day, tagging me, Ray, Michelle, this one, that one, for the sake of engagement, it just gets weird. It's the same thing with all this stuff. Don't ask peanut butter and jelly or ham sandwich every day, and then tomorrow it's pizza with pineapple or cheese pizza. Or, it's too much. It's too much. Not over and over and over and over and over. Use nostalgia. Use things that we love. Dark chocolate or milk chocolate. That's cool once in a while. Not all day, every day, 7 days a week, 3 times a day. So, important. Okay. Jack says thank you to us. Last week's training is in your back office and My Lead System Pro. If you're not a member, mlsp.com, you can grab a trial and get it. Wonderful. Helene, you're welcome. Helene, I should say. I said it wrong. Let's see, anything else?
Jack, I just want to tell Jack while Diane's reading that would be probably the preferable marketing solution, just so you know.
What did Jack say?
Okay, so I need a goat for sure.
Yeah, goats work. So I have a kitten, babies, puppies, baby dogs in general. Babies, dogs, cats, and I now add goats. I never thought of goats before, and the bunnies seem to be working well too. Babies are terrific, so if you don't have a baby, borrow one. You can also pick up chicks with babies. It's incredible because there's no woman that can stand watching a cute guy holding a baby, and then when they find out you're single, look out. So it's good. So okay, so it looks like we covered everything. Hopefully we did. If not, guys, find me over, facebook.com/Diane Hochman, and my site's DianeHochman.com. It's very easy to find me. My email's Diane@DianeHochman. Don't all email me, guys, because I probably won't answer you all. But I'm saying I'm easy to track down. The very best place to ask me a question, though, is always in the My Lead System Pro Facebook group. That way I can answer it for everybody. And usually if you ask me a question, that's what I tell you to do. So everybody have a great one. I'm going to go hang out with my kiddos for a little while and see if I can catch a little bit of the rest of the sunlight today because it is nice out up here. I will not be seeing you guys next Tuesday. I will not be around. I need to figure out. Bert, you want to do it next Tuesday, or should I get someone, or do you have a thought on that?
Yeah, I can do next. I'm pretty sure. What is next Tuesday? 5th? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, see if you're around. If not, because I almost forgot I need to make arrangements for that. So I will talk to you, and if you're free, awesome. And if not, we'll go get Angela or someone, whoever can do it. And turtles. Mina, I've seen Mina with the turtles. Turtles aren't as cuddly, but I think you could do something with turtles. Just saying.
I'm pretty sure you can do. Yeah, you could totally do something with turtles. They're just not as cuddly, but you could definitely do something. Especially if they're like those little baby turtles, or if it's like one of those sea turtles that's like swimming through the ocean, and then you can use that little turtle guy from Nemo. You could be a peaceful turtle, or you could use those other turtles. They're like, "Hey, dudes, what's up, bro?"
I like that turtle.
I love that dude.
That dude turtle. He's like surfer dude turtle. He's like totally gnarly. He's like totally awesome. Okay,
It's like, bro,
I
I
saw
can't
Mina
believe
did
that.
have a picture with baby turtles in it, and I did stop for it. I really liked it. Mark says that the dingoes ate his baby. Now, they have dingoes in Australia, I think. They don't have too many dingoes here. Do they have dingoes?
I don't think we
Did
have
you
that. Well,
see,
maybe in the
sidebar,
zoo.
and guys, this is what we do at the end. We're done, so y'all can run away. Did you see Higdon's buffalo video, Bert?
With the ones walking right across a
Yeah,
road.
there's like these
I
like
know.
buffalo, like excuse me, we'd like to cross the road, get out of
Like
the way.
people are just
So
pulled
cool.
over. Like people are out of their cars. They're like, listen, we're not going
So
anywhere.
cool. They're
Okay.
just like random buffalo out in the national parks out there. Like we have like stray cats in Brooklyn or something. They have like buffalo. We see a little cat running down the alley. Oh, I love it. Love it,
I
love it,
did.
love it, love it, love it.
I do need the information that you told me about earlier because I text just on a sidebar. I text Jessica about
Uh-huh.
said information, and she said, "Yes, you would be perfect for that show. For that as well. However,
I will,
she's
however.
like, however, you do get a little irritable when you're hungry." That's what she told me.
But that's what they want. They want to catch the real psychosis of Hungry Bert.
Yeah,
I will
that's exactly.
locate that information
Okay.
and send it to you momentarily because it's coming up soon though. I'm not going to tell anybody. It's a secret
Yeah, yeah,
between
yeah.
me and you. It's our secret
No,
little thing. I bet you it's in the press room. All right, everybody, have a great day. Go use some of these things, guys. Build those relationships and remember, once you have a relationship with somebody, you have permission to continually expose them. Not sell them, but expose them. I can invite people to almost anything. I can put up an invitation to a webinar. I can say, hey, I can I've even sent out emails that say blatant pitch. Like if I'm really going to pitch something because I feel passionate about it, I'll say blatant pitch. And then I'll say in my email, guys, I normally don't do this. It's not my way, but this thing is too good to be true and it closes out tomorrow. So I'm going to give you a blatant pitch and tell you why you need to buy this. And I'll say something like that. And people actually respect it when I tell them up front. But you have to have a relationship. You can't go do that when you have no relationship because then it's annoying. But if I have a good long-standing relationship with someone, if I called you up, Bert, tomorrow and I said, Bert, I'm going to totally pitch you right now. You ready? You ready? You sitting down? I'm going to pitch you. And Bert would laugh and go, yeah. And I'd be like, listen, there's this thing, and it does this, this, and that. It's a plug-in for your blog, or it's an app for your phone. It's like $6. You have to get it because it's really cool because we can send each other funny pictures of ourselves or something, whatever. He'd be like, okay, dude, I'm on it. And he'd be like downloading it because he wouldn't be bothered by me pitching him because I don't pitch him. So if I said you need this, that's influence and that's credibility. And that's what you guys are working towards. So on that note, the turtle is definitely not cuddly, but he's very spunky. I
You
need to
gotta
come
get
meet your
video.
turtle.
Yeah, we
What's
need
your
turtle
turtle's
video.
name, Mina? Message me on my wall and tell me what your turtle's name is. Let me have a picture of your turtle on my wall if you would, if you have time. If not, another time. But I want a personal picture of your turtle. All right, King. Thank you, Bert, as always. Thanks for coming and doing color commentary with me. You're super fun. And tell Jess I want some naan when I come over. Okay?
I will.
That's
I
it.
will tell her. Thanks for having me. See you guys all next time.
Later, taters. See you guys.